Well, hello. I just want to get on here for a few minutes and just discuss the views for Amtrak. A lot of you are traveling. The spring is in the air. You're making plans. That's great. There are a lot of new travelers out there, Amtrak travelers, which is even greater. I'm getting my ideas for videos from the different groups, online groups that I am in and comments I see. And the seems like the number one question that is coming up, particularly for first-time riders, and if you're a first-time rider in any of these long-distance east-west trains, um, this is for you. And this is what the question is. If I'm going east or west, um, which direction do I go in for the best views? Now, I'm going to discuss the three most popular ones and the ones that I have been on several times. They are the Empire Builder, which goes from Chicago to Spokane, Washington, and then it splits. Half of it goes to Seattle, and the other half goes to Portland. That's interesting. Um, and then there's California Zephyr, that starts in Chicago and it ends in Emeryville. Now, the biggest city is San Francisco. A lot of people just say Chicago to San Francisco. It doesn't go to San Francisco, it goes to Emeryville, which is right in front of San Francisco. And then you can take a bus over. Amtrak has a bus, or there's a bus line you can take over from Emeryville to San Francisco. Third train is Southwest Chief, which starts in Chicago. You'll see a theme here now. Chicago's going to show up in a lot of different places from Chicago, and it goes all the way to Los Angeles. So there are different aspects to each one, and just depends on which train that you would like to see for the views and what you're after. Um, Most people think and believe, and I'm being one of them, having ridden these three, the most scenic ones. One is the California Zephyr. Um, so that's the most scenic one. The one that I've been on that is the most laid back, and I think the friendliest one, and maybe because there are not a lot of different views, but more of a chill type train, was a Southwest Chief. And I rode the Empire Builder in the winter time because I wanted to see some snow. I'm home based in North Carolina. We rarely see snow. I wanted to see a lot of snow one more time in my life. So a few years ago, I got on the Empire Builder in the winter time. The other two I got on in May. I like to travel in May. I like to travel before the kids get out of school. The weather's not too hot, and I don't think I can wait until the kids go back to school in the fall. And then plus that's our hurricane season. So a lot of times I can't get out of here. Or it's going to be bad weather, and I don't want to travel in bad weather getting to Chicago. So anyway, views. That's all I'm going to say. Empire Builder, travel with the best views to see the Glacier National Park. Is what you're going to see. Montana, that area, North Dakota, Montana. That's where the views are. Someone commented on one of the Facebook groups today. Is like, where can I see the best views that doesn't have a lot of corn? The corn belt. You will be driving. You will be riding through the corn belt. That's funny because I've seen more corn than on the train than you. If you've never done that, you cannot imagine how much corn you can see that we are growing in this country, thousands of acres. The only interesting ride I've had in corn was when I I think that was a Southwest Chief, where there was major flooding that year in the Midwest, and all the fields were flooded up to the railroad tracks. So that was interesting to see nothing but an ocean of water. Didn't get to see corn. So yes, I'm being a little silly, but that is true. It depends on what you're looking for. If you don't mind the corn belt, then the views don't really matter. But Empire Builder, go west to east. West to east, you will see Glacier National Park, which is basically one of the few places you see on the Empire Builder. It's not the most scenic route, but it's not the most overall scenic route, but when you do get the scenic part, it's very scenic, if that makes sense. You will see that in the daytime. California Zephyr, east to west. I like both ways, actually. I've been both ways. I just do that to see all the views. That is the most scenic of these three. You go through the Rockies, you go through Sierra Nevada, you go through a lot of, there's a lot more area of scene of views on this train. Southwest Chief, I don't think it matters. To me, I don't think it matters. I've been both ways. I've seen a lot of the views. A lot of it's going to be flat land. A lot of it's going to see a lot of cows. If you like agriculture, if you like nature, if your view is nature and calm nature and desert, then you'll like the Southwest Chief. If your view is to see a lot of nature with some rolling hills, the Rockies, the ins and outs, you see quaint little towns, alpine type towns, and cities all along the way, then the California Zephyr is you. If you want to see national parks, ski resorts, I went in the wintertime, so Whitefish, Montana is a big ski resort. Minot, North Dakota was one of my favorite places. You can step off there. I think there's a military base there. If you like that, they were the most spectacular mountains around Glacier. They were the most spectacular mountains I can say to me that I've seen, but it was only for a couple of minutes or so. It wasn't for a long extended period of time. So it just depends on what you're looking for when you travel, how you're going to enjoy the trip. So it's different for different people. So that's all it is. It's a very simple thing. Also, somebody mentioned about the Empire Builder on one of the online groups I'm on, that going on the Empire Builder west to east for the views to see Glacier in the daytime, to start in Portland instead of Seattle. Now, the reason for that is because, and I hadn't realized that until the person said it, but yes, it is true, that from the Portland segment to Spokane, you get to see the Columbia River. Now, I did take a lot of pictures of the Columbia River and the mountains around it. It is very scenic. That part is very scenic. I don't know about Seattle, but I was told by somebody that was on the has been through the Seattle to Spokane that it's not as scenic. You don't get the Columbia River. Now, what happens to the Empire Builder? When I say it goes from Seattle to Spokane, Spokane is a split off. You have to make that decision where you want to board it. You have to make that decision regardless of which direction you go in. What they do in Spokane is that, like I said, they split the train up. The observation car goes to Portland. The dining car goes to Seattle. So if views are more important to you than food, then go to Portland. If food is more important, and they do feed you, but you don't get the dining car. If food is more important to you than the views, then you can go to Seattle. So you have a choice there. But you will miss going to Seattle. You will miss the Columbia River, which is very beautiful. I thought it was. And when I was there, and I do travel alone, so when I was there, this gentleman sat next to me in the observation car, and he was interested in what I was doing because I was taking a lot of pictures and things. And so we got to talking and struck up. I usually talk to people a lot when I'm traveling, and he struck up a conversation. And he was from there, and he showed me every little bit of the. I don't remember what he said a lot of the time, but I took a picture of what he was saying, and he explained a little bit of the history and what I was seeing, and so I got a guided tour. So I thought that was neat. Um, so yeah, I will say traveling alone, um, which I do. Uh, when I was on the Empire Builder coming back west to east, somewhere along the way, in the middle of everything, we were probably around Montana. A guy, it was a couple, and they were a middle-aged couple, and they were sitting across from me. I ride coach. I was on a rail pass, and um, he struck up a conversation, told him what I was doing, and that I had a YouTube channel and what I'm doing and this, that, and the other. He kind of laughed at me because I took a bag of food because I always carry my snacks and I have to have bananas. So I had a bunch of bananas and he was just kind of laughing. He wasn't laughing at me, but he just thought it was kind of odd. He went, before he got off, he went to because I told him I was getting off the coach in Minot and getting a sleeper to sleep overnight to Chicago. So he went to the cafe car and he gave me what you call when you're hiking, you call it trail magic. So he gave me a lot of snacks. He gave me a lot of juice drinks, a lot of chips, and whatever he had. He had a whole bag of snacks and he gave them to me. He wanted to help me out. And so that was fun. So I had fun doing that, and I've never gotten trail magic before. So I did that. And on the Southwest Chief, like I said, coming back, seems like coming back on the California Zephyr going, I talked to more people than coming back. Coming back, I was just tired and wanted to come back. That was my first trip ever. The other two trips, it seems like west to east was a lot friendlier than going. Um, and coming back, I had some seatmates, car mates in coach. We got to know some other older women were there. I got to meet them, and they were my trail buddies, riding buddies the whole way. Got their information. We were going to keep in touch. You know how you do that. You're going to keep in touch. We loved it. I had people with me, even though I'm solo, and of course, we never kept in touch. And there was one young guy that I thought was really cute, and he knew what I was doing. And so every time um, we stop in a city or stop at a train station, I'd like to take a picture of the sign for the train station. So I got off. It was like a smoking, what they call a smoking stretch break. So I got off and stretched my legs, and he always wanted to take my picture. He was like, "You want me to take your picture under the sign?" So he was real cute about that. He was kind of involved. They want to be involved in my trip. So that was kind of neat. So so yeah, again, I don't want to make this too long, but again, traveling east west, Empire Builder, go for the views, go west to east. California Zephyr, go east to west. In the Southwest Chief, I could not find out the difference really and truly because there's a whole lot of desert. And it's not the most scenic. To me, it's the least scenic because I love mountains. And you will see some mountains, but it's just kind of a different kind of a vibe. But it was nice. I enjoyed it, but it was a friendlier vibe. Um, so there you have it. Seems like to me, I haven't been on a lot of the long distance trains north to south. Don't know. I have been, I don't think it matters about the views. Night and day, it's not an east-west thing. I have been on the Floridian. I've ridden from, and I've ridden the individual trains that make up the Floridian several times. I've been from North Carolina to Chicago and back, and I've been from North Carolina to Orlando and back. I can't see that there's any difference going and coming. The highlight of my trip, actually, and people don't understand this, but to me it is. I'm a football fan. So the highlight of my trip is at night. We go through Cleveland, Ohio. And so there's nothing much in Cleveland. Well, there is. The train will go and it slows down and stops right there at the football stadium. And that's a neat football stadium. They got lights going at night. They got the lights going and I enjoy it. I mean, I look forward to going to see the Browns football stadium. And I think how convenient it is. You can ride the train and get off. I mean, there's a train stop there. You can get off right there at the train. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. But that was I don't think north and south views matter. Um, so yeah, so if you have any questions, put them in below and I'll try to get to them. And I mean, I will get to them and I will answer them. And I hope you have a great time on the train. And if you have any, I will be doing more of these shorter ones about traveling and what to see and this, that, and the other, hopefully. If you have any ideas for me to talk about, you can put that in the comments below and be glad to do that. So for everybody, I want you to have happy rails.